I was a compulsive liar for 18 years. I remember being as young as 7 years old and being celebrated for lying and getting told off for telling the truth. I was raised by a man who was brought up hustling on the streets of Cairo in Egypt, and he learnt from a young age that he needed to lie, cheat, and manipulate in order to survive. So naturally, he wanted to impart that wisdom onto his children. And just like that, lying became my vice. For many years, my habit of lying was so deeply unconscious and embedded in me that I didn't even realize I was doing it automatically. It wasn't until I was in my mid-20s when I had an awakening around my lying. My partner at the time witnessed me lying to a friend of ours, and he got angry at me. And in the heat of our argument, he said, "It is never okay to lie." At the time, I told him that he was wrong and that lying is absolutely necessary, because that's what I learnt when I was growing up. Whilst I had resistance at first, his words stuck with me. It's never okay to lie. It's never okay to lie. It's never okay to lie. Could it be that it's never okay to lie? This question challenged everything that I knew to be true. And it was the catalyst to a very significant self-discovery, life-altering journey. I became curious around my lying, and this curiosity led me to develop a heightened awareness of my thoughts before it came out of my mouth. So when I would feel the impulse to say something to someone, I would quickly say, "Is what I'm about to say true, or is it a lie?" Asking myself this question completely floored me. It was very confronting to realize how much of my communication was dishonest. And it was even more confronting to realize that every lie I would tell was shining a light at deeply unconscious insecurities that I didn't even realize I had. I discovered that I was so ashamed of who I was as a person that I was unconsciously using lies to create a false version of myself that I could be proud of. When I had the awareness that I had this deep sense of shame, I made a promise to myself. I devoted myself to radical honesty and transparency, which is ultimately the devotion to self-acceptance and self-love. It was challenging at first, but the journey from compulsive lying to radical honesty was one of the most transformational experiences I've ever had. And so I'm so grateful for my journey with lying. It has been my biggest teacher. It has shown me my insecurities and my shadow. And it's taken me to the depths of who I'm not. And that journey of discovering who I'm not has ultimately given me the gift of discovering and fully embracing who I truly am.